Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. So we're going to start today by putting some of the basic punches, blocks, and kicks into movement. I'm going to start with just the punches. Now I've covered this earlier in an earlier videotape, but now just in the context of testing for the yellow belt requirements, a couple of review points. So the first is that the three main stances we use, besides the yoi or ready position, are front stance, Zenkutsudachi, square stance, Shikodachi, and cat stance, Nekoashidachi. Primarily though at the yellow belt for moving our techniques defensively and offensively, we're going to look at Shikodachi for blocking and Zenkutsudachi for punching and kicking. So today, just really quickly, we want to cover Oizuki and Gyaku, front punch and reverse punch. I'll do it from the front and from the side. To start all of our exercises in class, and probably not a bad habit to have just for practice at home, start in the ready position, step into your front stance with a low block. And you'll hear me in class call Zenkutsudachi Ganbarai, front stance, low block. Hey! We ki-ai, we show that we're ready. From this position, we're ready to begin the exercise. Go back to vlogs number 3, 11, 13, somewhere back there where I talk about stances, mobility, and stability. And one of the key issues here is the stepping pattern that we will use. It's sort of a half mooning, okay? Or hangetsu, suriashi, sliding foot. So we bring our foot in and we slide our foot out and forward into the next stance. Now it's not so much just the sliding of the foot that's important. Again, go back to those earlier videos, but the key is that my weight pulls to the standing foot. So it's my stationary foot and my core that control the movement. Master Tamai really lifts his foot up when he steps, but he still keeps posture, steps lightly. It's still the same essence of bringing my balance onto the standing foot before I move into the forward position, as opposed to, and from the side, just pushing off. If I push with this front foot, it's very hard to not tilt my upper body. So when I push with the front foot, I might lose my position a little bit. So it's important that in this stepping pattern that we squeeze so that my posture stays upright and centered as I move through my stances. Okay? So using that, the basic front punch or chokozuki or seikensuki, straight fist, forward punching, has a lot of different names, but it's where we just stand and do the drill of punching. Now we're going to put it into movement. So again, from yoi, Zenkutsudachi Ganbarai. The first one is the front punch, where my stepping foot, or what ends up being my forward foot, and my punch are on the same side, squeezing, step, through, and punch. At this level, it's probably a good idea to separate the movement to where I step first, then punch. Step first, then punch. Squeezing back, step first, then punch. So again, my front leg and punching hand are the same. Step first, then punch. Step first, then punch. And yame, or finish. Yasumi. So that's the oizuki. Now gradually we're going to speed that up. So again, from my front ready position, I'm just going to step through punch and get there as quickly as possible. Same thing moving back, so that my foot lands a millisecond before the punch actually occurs, so that I'm effectively transferring the movement of my body into the punch. And again, I've done this in earlier videos, but in the context of yellow belt requirements. Second for today is the Gyaku, which is exactly the same thing, same ready position, same front stance preparation, only now we're going to use the opposite hand from the front leg. So if my left leg's forward, right hand punches, vice versa. Same step, and then punch. And again, at this level, step first, then punch. Reason being that not everybody has great balance to start with, and sometimes there's a little bit of wobble, so you want to make sure that we train our body to be in a stable position as we punch, okay? Step first, then punch. Make sure I'm set Make sure my balance, stance, alignment, posture are good. Then punch, step, punch. And again, eventually, my punch hits nearly at the same time as my forward foot lands. Then yame to stop, yasume to rest. So for the yellow belt, 10th kyu, oizuki, front hand, front foot, Gyaku ski, opposite hand from the front foot. Next week, we will look at kicks while moving using the front stance. Until then, keep practicing.